All right, welcome folks. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. It's going to be 6:30 p.m. on Monday, August 16th, 2021. And so we kick off this sit rep. This is going to be an interesting one, folks. I got to tell you, as I started to deep dive some of the information that was going around, some of it's a little bit alarming, only because of where this is all headed. And so I'll show you here in just a minute. We're going to hop over to the board real fast without further ado. Hey, just remember when you get a chance to hit that like, subscribe, and bell for notification. That way you get all my latest videos when I post them. So, okay, so this is going to be our board. Now, we're going to kick things off today looking over pretty much Europe, Africa, Middle East, that side of the world. There's not too much going on right now in terms of Afghanistan. But I will tell you, I do have some information to share on that because it's kind of crazy. As you guys remember, I actually interviewed a guy by the name of Justin Parks, who was a combat veteran and served a couple tours over there, did some security details there in Kabul. And he was filling me in on the days leading up to this, letting me know about how they were surrounded, how the Taliban actually had artillery set up, and that this was probably going to go pretty quickly. He even indicated that the Afghan army was going to just, give up, and they did. They just got overrun pretty quickly. So, but that said, kind of looking at the map, you can see there is kind of a steady trail of aircraft coming inbound into the Middle East from Europe. And so I imagine we're going to continue to see that. Now, my understanding is that they're going to be exfilling about 5,000 people a day. This is nowhere near done. And when I tell you why, it's not Americans that they're pulling out of there. It's Afghans, okay? And when I show you where they're going, you're going to flip your lid, all right? So, but I'll come back to the U.S. map at the end. I'm going to try and get through all this in about 30 minutes, okay? So if you would just bear with me as we get through it. We'll kick it off here. I just want to show you Flashbang's schedule. It looks like he delivered some remarks on the situation. I didn't hear it. I can only imagine what it was about. But this one is probably the worst slap in the face to any president we've had since probably the Iran crisis, hostage crisis back in like 1979. So this is pretty bad. I don't think they even imagined in a million years this was going to just drop like it did. And it's actually a really bad thing when you think about it because, and I'll show you here on the map in just a second, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So let me just show you real fast. This is going to be our TFRs we have going on. Got some weather moving through the panhandle. These are power outages here. You can see these big blue boxes. Still, Michigan is getting kind of hammered with some power outages still ongoing as the storm continues to move through up through the panhandle and then up the northeast, but northeast coast. Now, this looks like he's got a TFR over his residence. I'm not sure if I don't think he's there. Last I saw he's in the White House, but Camp David also has it. So we got kind of a dual TFR going here. Not sure what's going on. Maybe they see something coming. But you're going to bunker down here in this location. But, they've kept this one up for some reason. It was off just a couple days ago. Looks like he's headed back that way. Maybe this is for the weekend. And of course, we got the standing one over the White House. Now, I'm not going to focus too much on the TFRs that are out there, just mainly these right now, because we got a lot to cover. So let's get over here now, just to show you guys. We kind of get through this also. This is the current activity relative to the volcanic stuff around the world. You can see we've got a whole bunch of stuff firing right now, which is going to increase. You're talking about ash alerts, right? So that's going to make air travel a little difficult in those areas. So you've got 5 over on this side, 6 if you count this one. Then as we get into Central and South America, we've got there's 2 in here. Another one here. So it looks like we've got about 10 volcanoes that are actually spewing ash right now. And of course, we do have one of our loon balloons right here. Looks like that's the one that was headed out the other day. That's still going to be a ball 546. It looks to be, let me see where that one's headed. Just north of Cheyenne. So just a heads up if you're in that general area. Okay. All right, now get over here to the State Department where they have actually This is going to be their latest alert for August 16th, 2021. Basically just saying that things are changing rapidly over there, which I'm going to show you some videos and you'll see. I think you'll agree. The videos are staggering. And but they're telling you here, do not call the U.S. Embassy, probably because it's El Occupido at this point by others, okay? Just like the presidential palace. So, yeah, total collapse. All right, now let's get over here. I just want to show you a couple things. First of all, let's jump into this. There's some videos going around now. This one, I just did a freeze frame. I stopped it. These people that are around this aircraft aren't, for the most part, trying to get on board this aircraft. They are basically celebrating that the U.S. is leaving, okay? You can see this guy in the very front, arms up in the air, you know, screaming. They're having a good time, right? Now, there's been a couple folks that pointed out, hey, this thing, look at the windows on this jet, how they almost look like they're spray painted black. I think that may be a security measure where they've put something over the windows on the inside so they don't get pop shotted. I'm not really sure exactly. I think just the angle seems a little bit weird, but I don't think there's much to it, I'll be honest with you. Although it does look very CGI. All right. Now I'm going to show you the live video as we go through this and point out a couple of things. Okay. As we kind of watch this thing, this does look very CGI, but now a couple things that brought to my attention that I thought were kind of strange was just the fact that there's people right in front of that engine. That engine can suck you right into that inlet. I don't know if you've ever seen one sitting on the ground, but it's actually staggering. It'll suck moisture out of the ground in front of it. So it is a very, it's just not a good place to be, okay? And directly behind it, I'm surprised there's people who haven't been getting blown over. This thing must just be on idle taxi. You know, he's certainly not, because there's people around it, probably not going to be cranking on the thrust to get down the runway or taxiway. But see all these dudes hanging out on the side? Now, other thing, too, I want to point out, these people are wearing sandals, so they're not going to be running very fast, okay? Now, this is going to be you just kind of watch that situation unfold and watch how many people seem to be in a panic, how many people are just hanging on. It was mind-boggling, really. Definitely doesn't look good for Flashbang, okay? Now, let's get over here. I just want to show some other things that are out there. You can see some images here where the airport is in total, I mean, it's under siege. To think there's people held up trying to get out, okay? And my understanding is that there's still security folks there that are still trying to get out, okay? Even though you've got the Marines there. But also, I will tell you, notice I'm not showing anything live, nothing. Even the flight map is not showing anything live, okay? I'm not going to do anything for OPSEC, okay? Just we got troops over there, and we definitely want to be praying for them and hope that they get out safely, okay? But this is all stuff that took place today and yesterday, okay? Now, check this one out. This one's kind of interesting. They're using Apaches to actually, gunships, to clear the runway so that this aircraft, you can see this guy tooling along here, so the C-17 can actually take off. But it's crazy. The place is just in total chaos, okay? Now, this is where it gets a little wonky, because I got to tell you, as I started reading some of the articles that are out there, really raised my eyebrows, because we already know we have an immigration issue going on in the U.S. But check this out. There is a race to evacuate 22,000 Afghans by August 31st, withdrawal deadline. That's not U.S., folks. That's Afghans. Guess where they're evacuating them to? Yeah, you guessed it, right here in the great old U.S. of A. And so what's interesting is that they're going to fly these folks back to, they're planning on 5,000 a day to come back to hit that number. I've also read other numbers that are actually higher than that. But their plan is to come back, bring them into U.S. bases and give them like these expedited visas. Okay, so they're bringing them back to military bases. So, but it just can't get any better, man. And guess what? They're going to Fort Bliss, Texas, Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, and then of course they have opened up temporary housing for incoming refugees with the capacity to take up to 22,000 before the end of the month. All right, data point. Let me get over here. Now this one is even better, because this one says they're bringing up to 30,000 just to Texas alone. Now, I don't know how solid this website is. I've had people in the past tell me that's kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of place. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you that as I look across multiple valid sources, that this kind of falls in line with it. So 30,000 people to Texas, and that's insane right here, right? That's just Texas and Wisconsin. So not good, given that we've already got our borders so porous. Okay, so it's almost like our borders all around are just collapsed. Now, this one is actually Washington Examiner, as they're also talking about the same thing. Now, the initial group was actually flown in. This already took place, that they had 1,800 families that are bringing in because of 221 Afghans that had basically worked for U.S. ally operations in Afghanistan to help us. And so we're bringing them all back here as well. So just join on in the party. But yeah, so, and that was back July 30th. So like I said, this has been taking place for quite some time. This isn't like just happened over the weekend. Okay. All right. So with that, let me jump over here to the flight radar. I just want to show you guys. You can see this area is being flown around. There's nobody's really flying into here. It's kind of like they just know better. Okay. I will show you some of the aircraft that we caught going in and out. If you back up, here's one of the things we got to really be careful of, is that this border right here that runs across into Pakistan. Pakistan is a nuclear nation. They have about 165 warheads based on 2021 data. And so one of the reasons back, if you go back and watch some of the videos from 2009, one of the reasons we occupied and got into Afghanistan and stayed there was because if it ever collapsed, there was worry that it would actually bleed over into Pakistan, and then you would have Taliban or Al Qaeda who would have their hands on nuclear weapons. Okay, it's still a concern. It didn't change, but just a data point. Definitely not good to have terrorists with nukes. Okay, all right. So there is that, but I just want to point out there's nothing really going on in the airspace right there. Okay, now I did take a look earlier. And I'll tell you over here on the Wayback Machine on Flight Radar, this was earlier today. You can see we've got U.S. This is Creep 58, C-130 evacuating, pulling people out, headed this direction, southbound. The reason for that is because this is Iran, right? So you got to get down here and then come over into this kind of safe area. But this is a bad area to fly in for us, and they wouldn't allow us to fly in no matter what. Anyway, Syria is another area that's kind of a hot spot. Then you got Ukraine. I mean, the world's heating up for sure. All right. Then you've also got some private jets that boogied out of there. This is a little B-350 that somebody probably paid dearly to get out of the country on. And this one here, which is Fever 11. Now there was a Fever 12. They've been pumping in and out pretty regularly on these C-130s, getting people out. And so that was earlier. Like I said, I won't show anything that's live going on just because not that I think they even have internet there, but, maybe some pockets do. But that place is pretty much a bunch of mud huts from what I've seen pictures of outside of Kabul. So you get into all these little villages and everything out here in the mountain range, and it is mud huts. And so don't have a lot of technology. And but still, nonetheless, I don't want to be sharing, OPSEC stuff. So. Okay, so now let's break over. We're going to break away from this, but just a data point. It looks like we're bringing even more people into our country, and on top of what's I'm about to show you, still going on. Okay, all right. So let's get over here to Jenna 622. This is going to be your AG. He was flying out of Huntsville. Looked like 6 hours 50 minutes ago. So he did a quick turn. He was down there early this morning. Left about 9, got into Huntsville at 9:19, time change probably, and then rolled back out. So that was a quick hop, all right. But that is going to be your AG, so that's bar replacement. And then we look at just a couple of the Gitmo birds. I just want to kind of check out just for, just to kind of baseline, see where we are, what they're up to, see if they've got anything interesting going on during all of this. Now, this is going to be N312FU. This is going to be one of our gray birds. Looks like they were down in the Cayman Islands, back up here to Lauderdale. and that took place on Saturday. So just kind of a round robin down there. Now we go over here to N163 PA. This is going to be your gray birds. Now this is one of the birds we saw in Haiti after the president down there got assassinated. And so if you notice, which is definitely an agency bird, notice that it rolled out of Greece on Friday and into Dubai. So it's kind of pre-positioned there, probably working, I would say, from remotely out of here, calling shots into there. So, all right. And then the sister ship 173 PA, that one also rolled out of Terceira 2 days ago and over to Greece. So it's pre-positioned and will probably end up over here as well in the UAE. Again, those are the same two birds that showed up in Haiti after the day after assassination. All right. Now 302 AZ, which are, I'll say this loosely, white hats. That bad dude's coming back from Key West over to Lauderdale. So again, this is a location we've been watching. I said I thought maybe there was some court stuff going on out here. Haven't found anything further on it, but just an area to watch. Okay, and I just chimed on that because the Gitmo base commander was popping in and out of Key West, as was the DOJ. Okay, all around the same time. So, all right, now let's get over to the more good news, where we've got people coming into our country like nobody's business. All right. And so this is going to be your Swift Airs. This is going to be rolling out of Dominican Republic into Miami. Looks like that's a round robin. Got another aircraft going back down. And then we've got this one that's headed out of McAllen, Texas, down to Tapachula. All right. Said that right for once. And then we've got this one here that looks like it's up in Wisconsin, headed down. That's back, return to base. So that's going to be Laughlin. Miami over to Traverse City in Michigan, probably taking a load that just dropped off up here from Miami from Dominican Republic. And then looks like that one, Westchester County, up there in White Plains, is actually bringing some folks back down to Alexandria International. And we know that is a 72-hour holding facility. I doubt they're being deported. Seems like everything's going, the flow's going one way right now. Okay. All right, now continue on with the Swift Airs. This one landed 3 hours, 41 minutes ago out of Tucson, Arizona over to Brownsville. And if I had to guess, let's see here. So that's just today. So this was from last week. All right. Okay. So that one ran just right along the Mendoza diagonal there. And then let's get over to N397 SW. That one landed 1 hour, 1 minute ago. San Diego over to Phoenix. But let me just double check here. I want to say, yeah, that's what I thought. Earlier today, that one went from Phoenix down to Brownsville, picked up a load, went from Brownsville over to San Diego, then San Diego into Phoenix. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at this one. Now, this is going to be, if my screen will cooperate. Okay, so this is going to be the Mexican Airlines, so Aeronaves. And that one looks like don't have any in destination for this for some crazy reason. This other one looks like it's coming out of Chihuahua. I'm joking, obviously. But actually, it looks like it says that, doesn't it? Chihuahua. But anyway, it's coming out of Chihuahua down up to Laredo. And then Cancun. It looks like, I think that was Miami. And then this one, of course, is coming out of the Yucatan over to Miami as well. So looks like we're moving folks around. Miami seems to be getting a fair share also. I'm sure DeSantis is loving that. And then in 629 SW coming out of Mexico to San Antonio, Texas. So there's another fresh load of bananas. All right. So Monday, this one actually left Laredo, actually start out San Antonio to Laredo down to Mexico, then Mexico back up. So it is just filling the bill there. All right. And then this one is actually going to be Texas DPS. And I just wanted to look at what they were up to. This actually was flying just a little while ago. It set en route. So Uvalde over to Del Rio. Of course, it was round robin. So one of the things that's interesting is I had another one. There seems to be something in here that they are watching. I'm not really sure what, but we had another aircraft in here as well. Now, if you kind of back up, you can see San Antonio is, this is San Antonio over here. All right, this area, okay. But your border is down here, it just runs down like this. So it is just interesting that it's pretty far inland for them to be doing anything, right? So actually, sorry, here's your border right here. Yeah, okay, running through here. So that's your Mendoza diagonal. But that's still pretty good ways in. I mean, Texas is a big state, so you go from the border all the way up into here and be looking for people or looking for stuff. It's kind of interesting. I doubt they're busting anybody. They're probably giving them water, knowing how we are right now. So, and then this one here is actually en route. This was headed. Let me back this up. So this is Del Rio. All right, and looks like he's headed down to the border right now. So UAV. This same helicopter was actually over here earlier. All right, so again, something seems to be going on out in this general area, but this one looks like he's now running the border. All right, now let me get back to the main page real fast, and we'll get a look at the U.S. to see what's going on. But going to be real interesting over the next couple of days. But again, I think if you're in Wisconsin or Texas, and you got all these people coming from a country like that, that's been in a civil war forever. It's time to start sounding the alarm, folks. This is getting beyond ridiculous. Okay. Now it looks like we got a couple 2 ships of Reach. These are going to be C-17s headed across the U.S. Look like they're headed into the southeast, so probably South Carolina, if I had to guess, Charleston inbound, and then from there they will probably, like this one right here, will probably leave Charleston and head across the drink. Okay, and let's see here, what do we have on this? It's going to be one of your E6, and then that's going to be a Sentry right behind it, E3. So the E6 is actually Airborne Command Center. And then this one looks like he's doing touch and goes, but he's been out here flying around quite a bit today. And again, that is Airborne Air Traffic Control, but it also can do some spying stuff. So, all right, let me see. Border, this looks like we got a bunch of, this is just actually trainers up. And let's see here. These are just air refuelers. Looks like we got 2 of them back to back. Yeah, a couple of air refuelers headed across the Gulf right now. All right, fighter down here, C-130. I got a little P-8 coming down from, looks like Pax River general area or Norfolk, and then another P-8. Looks like it's just about to land. It's been out here. Looks like it was doing some stuff off of. That's Patrick Air Force Base right here, Kennedy Space Center, Satellite Beach, and looks like he was doing some flying around down here, right off the East Coast. Kind of a normal area for them to do, but we get subs that come into the port. So, okay, now let me just back up real fast. Make sure I'm going to look down at Australia before we go, just because I told them I would do that. Take a quick gander at Hawaii, see what we've got going on here. Looks like we got some, that's going to be a Navy 737 probably coming out of Seattle. And then this is a air refueler. Looks like that's headed into Hano. And then we've got a little H-60 that's up there as well. And then let me get down here over Australia and see what we've got. Got a little B-350 out off the, I don't know what that is right now. Nothing's, there we go. Got some names that were just, all right, these are all trainers right here. Look to be trainers. And then that is going to be, I don't know what the N90 is. That's a pretty good size. It's almost like our H-53. It looks like to be a large helo. Same with that one. So 2 of those. And that's just west of Brisbane. So, all right. And up here to, let me just double check the Asian Pacific. It's kind of quiet right now. Not too much going on. So, all right. That, folks, is going to do it again. If you're in Texas or Wisconsin, it's time to start sounding the alarm because we're getting inundated, especially here in Texas, with immigration It looks like our border is totally collapsed, and it looks like we've got folks coming inbound from Afghanistan to our country. Like 20,000 of them. That's definitely no bueno. So, all right, listen, that's going to be our sit rep for today. You guys be safe out there. God bless. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear and products at monkeywerxus.com.